Hey everybody, back with a new episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season finale. Always very exciting and a lot's going on and I don't know how to feel about it because the show's so tricky. They trick you. They trick you all the time. And Daisy is seemingly trying to get back under Hive's thrall because she's missing it. But I mean, I'm hoping this is her distracting him so he won't take the Zephyr, because apparently the Zephyr can go very high altitude. And we know that, Absolution is a physical place. It's a town. So, I mean, we kind of know his plan, but we really need him to not escape right now. And I hope Daisy is not taken again. And then, you know, you've got the whole necklace thing. As of now, it's with Fitz, but it keeps wanting to change hands. They're really just, it could be anyone, but I don't feel great right now that Fitz is wearing that jacket that we see and he has a necklace. So that's all very worrisome. We thought we were doing well last episode. We had Hive contained and it looks like we were about to head on some vacations, but that is not the case anymore. This episode being called Ascension, we know we gotta go, we're going up. We know we're someone, Fitz, I don't know, is gonna be in space and it's gonna explode, and hopefully maybe we can prevent that from happening. But, you know, Ascension of like Hive, this is his goal. He wants to take over the world with his little primitive Inhumans, and we have to stop it. So I don't have any ideas of how they're going to do that, but we got to get to this warhead and, I don't know, do what S.H.I.E.L.D. does, which is pull shit out of their ass and just save the day. So I'm excited to see how they might do that. And, you know, the whole thing with can they change the future is something I'm going to see how they answer it. And if it is just so fixed in the way that Fitz and Gemma and just the scientific nature of what that would mean, is it immovable or unchangeable? But I don't want anybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. to die. I don't want Fitz to be, or if it somehow gets back to Lincoln, or if Elena gets it again, or if someone new. I don't know. And then Daisy was wearing it in her nightmare vision, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. But I'm very excited to see how they wrap up this season, because it's been a great season. So let's get into it. Don't.
What did S.H.I.E.L.D. do to you?
It's not what S.H.I.E.L.D. did to me. It's what that creature stole from you. He made you impervious.
Woo! This wasn't a play. It just can't work. Damn.
Sorry, Daisy.
Oh, she's mad. She's big mad. Whoa. Don't get on your bad side.
They possess memories of previous talents, weapon skills, and the like.
We have 28 ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that know the space inside out. How long before they find their way through the hangar doors?
Several hours at least.
Whoa. Whoa.
I don't want you to die. I want you to suffer.
Yeah.
Seems you're the one who's suffering.
Although Mac told you this
Sorry,
is
you
not
won't
good
feel
for
that
you.
connection. Pieces solving the puzzle.
I'll secure the weapons rack, but
Oh. Oh! Mac! Oh! Yo-yo! Oh, she saved you! Oh, no!
what'd you do?
They're leaving! What do we do?
We'll drop in the containment module to safety before it detonates. Unless you want to stay behind. Make sure nothing goes wrong.
Can you fix it?
If we can get her an injection of acetylbutyl from the lab.
We can't get to the lab, because this idiot turned good agents into kill zombies, so come up with something else.
I've been kidnapped, repeatedly threatened.
Yeah, well, Daisy said you were more than happy to play mad scientist.
Yeah,
Well,
you
the
were.
alternative was death.
Stop! We can either argue or we can save her. Not both.
Oh. I really couldn't see you?
What are you doing here? Grabbing you, taking back the Zephyr. No, Fitz, don't open that.
What?
I should be in here.
But they crank up the heat. Why would they do that?
Trying to flush us out? Why else?
Simmons.
She's blinding them. Simmons, genius, you say. She must have figured it out. Their eyes were damaged, clouded over. I suspected they could see.
She's so
somehow.
smart.
It must be
Infrared.
My powers are nothing compared to Hive. I don't give a damn about your powers. They're not what made you an agent. I did. You have no idea what I did. I may not always show it, but I... Nate!
You! I'm sick of you!
They're not in control of their actions. They're not bad people, except you. You were a murderous one before all this.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! Oh, shit!
Try and keep warm.
Oh, now she's got the jacket! God!
Thank God.
Thank God you missed.
I increased the temperature
We
because...
figured it out, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Picked up on it straight away.
Oh.
They make a pretty good team.
Will you
Here,
shut
they're
up?
strategic, Homeland. What comes after Homeland?
Just say S.H.I.E.L.D.
Put a few new tricks up my sleeve.
Wow.
Or my Quinjet.
Yeah.
It's on its way. But let's be clear. We'll contact Talbot, have him authorize military force to take back our base. But then I take the Quinjet to intercept the Zephyr. On my own.
Why?
Sir, I have to get to
You
Fitz.
can't expect us to just
It's
go...
not up for discussion.
He's still trying to make
You're
up
agents,
for
I'm the director.
getting Hive here in the first
I
place.
brought Hive to this planet. It's on me to stop it.
They were here.
Should give me a very dirty look.
Yes,
yeah.
you would.
Get them out, get them home.
Look, it is all hands on deck.
I have to say, I really enjoy the way you do things.
This is not getting you out of the trouble that you were in.
Let's just hope whoever's on that
It's
Quinjet
you, I guess.
is next.
I know exactly what happens next.
I'm just here to offer a helping hand. Pun absolutely intended.
Or have you given me exactly what I need to finally defeat them? Your body.
Oh no, he did say he
I'll shed this
would
host.
change. No!
Your followers have no choice but to obey.
Yep.
But when I gave my team the order to stay behind, they just wouldn't listen.
Of course they didn't. They weren't gonna let
They
you
got out.
do
Right
this.
before docking was complete.
Let's go!
Along the top of the fuselage to a maintenance hatch. I'm just a distraction.
And a hologram.
I said I was
Woo!
willing to die, sure, but certainly don't want to. I always wanted to do this. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Only hope.
Lincoln!
Oh! Oh shit.
I knew what you were going through. And that you needed time to put yourself back together.
Did I ruin this? Us?
We need to work on ourselves before we can talk about us.
That's fair.
Yes. Where did you get that?
Daisy, no!
What are you?
I'm accepting fate.
No.
No.
Don't try to
Fuck
do this yourself.
fate
I will come down here looking
every
for us.
time.
Promise me you won't.
She's
Don't
almost
try to-
wanting it a little bit. Stop
atone
it!
for your sins with some kind of sacrifice.
Now all we have to do is decide who goes and who stays to hold off a wave of primates and Hive the Terrible.
Hive the
I'd like to be
Terrible.
in a fight. Built this damn thing for a
Let's go! You got it.
I couldn't stop.
Fuck! Oh, put the jacket on him. Let it be his fate.
The autopilot coordinates have been set. This thing is going to outer space. With you in it.
Order's still here. Just manually override the controls.
That's why I had to come. I shorted the manual controls.
Oh! Kicked her off.
I saw the future. This is my destiny.
He took it.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're not
Just hold on.
changing anything.
You can't just die for me like this. It's wrong.
I know. Saving the girl I love and the world at the same time feels pretty right to me.
It's pretty heroic.
We didn't even realize it.
Realize what?
A moment ago. It's the first time I said I love you.
Oh, was it?
Try to swing me if you want.
It won't
There's no
matter.
turning this thing back around.
I can see that.
He's paying for my mistake.
No.
He's paying for all our mistakes.
Wow, them two. It's over.
Well, I got to see the world.
It's beautiful.
Oh, this is exactly it. I wanted them to change it though. Boy, this is tough.
So what now?
Whoa! What? 6 months later? She went rogue?
Hey, I got us some sandwiches. You should.
They're here.
I was treated as a pariah back home.
She's in her goth era.
Your dad made this.
Oh.
It's a Robin. Thank you.
Daisy, come back. Whoa! Y'all were way too
Seal the
slow.
perimeter! But you won't find her.
Welcome back, Dr. Radcliffe.
Hold my calls, Ada. Today is a special day.
This better be
My boy Fritz, did
prison.
he get the invite?
Leopold had to decline. He's organizing a surprise for Gemma. Is that what we're celebrating today? The inclusion of your new colleague Fitz on this project?
No, Ada.
What are you creating?
Today's your birthday.
Now that was a lot. Holy shit. Wow. I was guessing the whole time about how this was going to go, and I really never could see the path until it was unraveling, and, you know, that makes a great finale. And, man, that hard cut 6 months later was wild. Who could have seen that coming? And I was, you know, going to spend a large portion of this, in talk with how is this going to affect Daisy in the future and what she's going to be like, because she's got a lot on her chest after all of this. And they done told us she's not doing well, although, you know, it's great to see her looking after the guy with the visions daughter. I don't remember his name, like she said she was going to. But what the other stuff that was on the board and what she's been up to, explain, please. What? The look. I mean, it seems like she's, you know, obviously no longer an agent, but we're desperately still trying to reach out to her. So she's not handling this well. But, I mean, Chloe played that so well when, I mean, she was just breaking down over Lincoln, and of course she would. Look what he did for her. She already felt like she had to be the one to make up for what she did. But now on top of that, having to know that Lincoln did that for her, you know, it'd be nice for her to realize the love that he had for her makes her worthy of it. But she's just, feeling awful, which is understandable for sure. But he had no second thoughts about doing that. And, I'm proud of him, and I'm glad that he was able to do that. I'll miss Lincoln. I thought he was a compelling character just because I kind of never knew where he fell. But the one thing you had to know about him is that he did love Daisy and would do whatever for her and did whatever for her. It's interesting for him to take out himself and also Hive, who, looks like Ward, who is also someone that Daisy was briefly romantically involved with. So it was kind of wild seeing them both there about to get blown the fuck up. A lot of Christ-like comparisons for Lincoln there, with the sacrifice for all of humanity and the cross, and he was almost in a Christ-like pose. But wow. And even having Hive kind of be resigned to it. I mean, because there was nothing he could do at that point, but to be curious about what death would be like, but still never understanding Lincoln and what he did for his people because of never being able to fully get that connection that he was wanting, which I guess is good that he never got that satisfaction, and his plan did not work. So his last thoughts were of that not working. So I'm glad that is how that went for him, because fuck Hive. And I'm glad we got rid of him. And I was like, how do you get rid of him? I didn't think that he would be up there too. And he was. And it was Lincoln. And this episode still was like, who's going to get it? Who's going to get the cross? And I was hoping that it was different. But this was not different. And so I guess Fitz and Simmons' breakdown of how you can and cannot change things that you see as the future, I mean, that holds true. Because that is exactly what the future was. The cross, the viewpoint, the blood, that was exactly the same. It's just you didn't know who it was. And I mean, I liked Lincoln a lot, but I can't say I'm not happy that it wasn't Daisy, although she's on a path right now that we've got to rein her back from. But this was excellent. I love that they highlighted the differences in Hive and Coulson's way of leadership, the way that he was like, no, I'm doing this on my own. And they were like, no. And he was like, well, okay. And that is something that Hive could never have done. And that's why they ultimately won, because they are a group and they are of the same mind, but it is still their own minds that they are making up. And that was great to see in that way. I don't know how to talk about that last scene. That is clearly the setup for next season. Are we dealing with AI and robots? That seems pretty relevant. But how is Radcliffe absolved from his role? I guess he can say, well, I was compelled. I either had to or I was going to get killed. But he seemed pretty willing, I'll say. Not towards the end, not when it kept going wrong and he was afraid he was going to get killed. But I don't know. I don't see how he's just part of the team now, working with Fitz and Simmons. I don't know about that. And now he's creating a robot. I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, I'm not 100% against artificial intelligence, but I am very cautious about it. And I think a lot of thought should go into it. And this guy just seems to like to create for the sake of creation, not really with a lot of consideration of what it means and the consequences of it. So that's going to be a problem. This wasn't just some teaser of oh, this is going to work out great. No, I think we need to keep an eye on this Radcliffe guy, even though it seems like he and Fitz are maybe have been working together. He mentioned like hearings and stuff, but I guess he's off of everything. So whatever. I was worried about Yo-Yo. I love that she was willing to sacrifice herself for Mac. It seems like that was a little bit of a setup for what was going to eventually happen with Lincoln, which is nice. But I'm glad they were able to cauterize it and save her. Ugh, that's awful though. Like, could you imagine? But he was willing to do it, and she's okay. And yeah, with Lincoln, maybe he was gonna die anyway. Like, Simmons was like, he should be all right if there's no internal bleeding, but he looked rough. I don't know if he would have survived or not. So maybe that's something that they can tell Daisy to be like, you know, he was going to die anyway, maybe. But that's not going to give her any solace. But yeah, this couldn't have gone worse it could have gone worse for Daisy. It could have, like, Hive's plan could have worked and this all would have been awful. But knowing that she fully tried to go back to him, which is hard to swallow when it doesn't work and you're like, look what I fucking did. But it's an addiction. I was actually pretty gagged by that because I was like, oh, this has to be a play. This is her, she had talked that whole episode about how much she hated what he did to her, and they're playing on the addiction thing, but no, this is her doing something. But no, she just wanted to go back to get that feeling again, which is, a huge part of why she wanted to be the one that did this sacrifice. But I do kind of like that from the beginning, whenever it was talked about with the Inhumans and what they meant in the balance of things, Lincoln was always the one, like, that's the purpose. Like, they center each other. There's that yin and yang. And him being the one that stops Hive feels right, if, not really sad. Like, I like Lincoln, and it seems like even if he hadn't have died, they were going to hit the brakes and kind of figure themselves out, even though I realized that Hive really got into his head about Daisy. But I feel like they could have probably worked it out. But now we'll never know. So now what? Now what? I don't know. This is a really good season, though. Like, how they were able to keep this Hive storyline going all the way through, and then they give you that vision like halfway through, and you're trying to piece it all together, and it finally unravels, and you're just like, wow, it worked. They did it. And it's devastating, especially for Daisy. She looks so sad. And now it's just like fully, I don't know. I need more information about like what she's been up to. It doesn't look good, but I can't see her just, wrecking shop for chaotic reason. It has to still be something to do with like getting with the other Inhumans, because that's always been her like driving force since she's known about herself. I can't see that changing, and I can't see her going dark-sided, even though she's got like her whole emo self look going on right now. It has to be more than just her doing bad things. I just can't believe that. But yeah, I was worried for Fitz there for a little bit. I was like, he's wearing that jacket, and he and Jim are doing well and planning a vacation. I was like, oh, things are bound to go wrong. But I think they ended up okay. I'm glad about that, especially coming off last season finale where we thought things were great with them, then all of a sudden Jimmy gets taken. So I'm glad that they got a break here. But Daisy did not. Daisy may have like the worst love life ever. So far, for sure. It hasn't worked out. But yeah, Ada. How do I deal with that? What is that gonna bring? I don't know. But I'm very satisfied in how they wrapped up the Hive storyline. I'm glad that Phil allowed everyone to help him fix something that, you know, he was a part of breaking, because, you know, he's the reason that Hive was able to get into Ward's body. And, you know, not for nothing, but I feel like this is the end of Brett, who has been there since the beginning. And I'm glad Hive's dead. I'm glad that Ward's dead. But I feel like there will be a hole that he is not filling anymore, because he was such a good, complicated character. Even just his presence as Hive was so, it was felt, you know, he really played that role. And it was different than Ward, but no less important to the show. So now he's not there anymore. And now we lost Lincoln. We had already lost Bobby and Hunter. So yeah, we definitely have less people than, we have fewer people than where we started, because I mean, it was getting big there for a while, but we still have Yo-Yo and Joey, right? And then, you know, of course, Mac, May, Phil, Fitz, Simmons, and then, you know, Sky kind of, or Daisy kind of on the lam. So I wonder if they're going to bring any other people in, or just keep it more this tight, smaller group. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what season 4 will bring. This was certainly an interesting season. A really good season. I feel like it as a whole was really tight, and I was in it, man. This was a really good finale, and you know, they always kind of set something up at the end. I don't know really what it's going to mean that Radcliffe has done or is working on this AI, but I'm sure it's going to not go well. So until season 4, thanks for watching, guys. I'm very excited for what's next, though. This was very good. So thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.